under services, when we create assemblies, we can, it does have a bounding box algorithm, which is really cool. It'll sort of figure out the tightest bounding box around your assembly. And then see, and you can set some warning points here. So you want to make sure that this assembly fits in a connex, or this assembly fits on the trailer, or this assembly fits through a door, or some underground pathway, something like that. You can set a max bounding box here and a max weight. I haven't done this in a while, but let's set something ridiculous, like max weight 10 pounds. Cool, and that's for welded threaded around. So we said max weight is 10 pounds on that. Now, there's a lot of different tools. Now you can actually absolutely make assemblies through the standard AutoCAD tools. The sheets are still going to work, and all the tools will still work. It does give you, VM does give you some more tools here. You can create assembly, and that's just box stuff, and create assemblies out of boxes. Pick assembly allows you to kind of just pick along the run, and then it'll kind of create assemblies for you. You can add to assembly, remove from assembly, delete, and select, and then there's some assembly settings here. Now, what this is asking you is, well, what do you want the VM assembly tools to do? Do you want them to make proper assemblies, or do you want to make parameter-driven assemblies? And there'll be more parameter-driven assemblies in here next update, but right now you can make a sub-assembly, and this is not really assembly, it's a parameter-driven assembly, which is useful for certain things. I accidentally escaped out of that. Let's go back. We're going to make proper assemblies for now. Now this is a include taps. So when you're picking along the trunk line, do you want to include the taps without picking them? And for ductwork, generally you do. If you're making assemblies out of ductwork, you probably want to cut the taps in and manifold them, so that's checked. Exclude end couplings. This is basically field welds. So when I pick two ends of pipe and then I keep going on to the next one, sort of the weld between the two assemblies, leave those out. That's a field weld. That's what this checkbox does here. Also, assemblies are assemblies. They're not spools, so you can make assemblies all day long, but when you make MAJs, CAD, CAM, and S, they don't know what an assembly is. But CAD, CAM, and S does have a value called spool name. So with this box checked, when you're creating assemblies, it's going to go ahead and push that assembly name to the spool name. So now CAD, CAM, and S are aware of your Revit assemblies. So there's that. And then as you're creating them, you can kind of override fill color and stuff like that. So you can visibly see where you've been and what you've spooled. So now that that's done, and now remember I set a max of 10 pounds. And for assemblies, this is dry weight. We also do hanger loads, which I can show you later if you want. But hanger loads is wet weight for pipe, so that's also important to know. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to create an assembly. And we're going to pick assembly, and this is process cooling, we'll say. So PC1. We'll start with PC1. Select OK. We're going to go from here to here. Now, assembly spec exceeded. We're getting this warning because max weight we said was 10 pounds. And it's saying that this is 381. What do we want to do? And this would also trigger, right now our max size is unlimited. It will give you the size. This is 123 by 41 by 37. This is in inches. But it doesn't, max size is unlimited. We didn't set a max size, but we did set a max weight. So it's giving us a warning here, and we can go ahead and create or cancel. We're going to go ahead and create. Okay, so now, and I could continue picking down the line if I wanted to, but I just hit escape. And if we look at this, we can see that's made PC1. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's turn off that ridiculous weight. 0 is unlimited. So we're going to go ahead and say that. And let's make some duct spools now. So the symbol pick assembly. We're going to say supply error 1. Okay. We're going to go from here to here. And that's made supply error 1. And notice it's included the tabs for me. I didn't have to pick those. I can keep going down the line. There, it's supply error 2. And I can just keep going if I needed to. Escape out of this. See here we have supply error 1. And we have supply error 2. So now that that's done, we just need to make some sheets. So what we can do here is select pipe, come up to the sheets, The first thing it asks is, what do you want to make sheets for? So we can make sheets for our proper assemblies, and then remember the parameter-driven assembly. We can make sheets for those. And then we have packaging tools as well, which are similar. We have assembly and then package, and these are similar, and you have some packaging options here as well. And sort of a package is, just some portion of some model. Could be a rise, could be, a chase, it could be 10 spools, whatever you want. This gives you a way to package up your project and organize it really quickly, and then you can create sheets out of packages. You can select single packages and all kinds of cool stuff there. But we're going to go ahead and select this. Go to sheets. We do want to make a sheet for an assembly, and there's lots of setup here, but basically you can create as many views as you want, and you can create as many schedules as you want for each sheet, right? And then you can set up sheet titles and stuff like that. Select your title block. This is just the title block family. Your company's standard title blocks will be here if they're loaded into the model, and you can pick them here. Now, once this is all set up, say this company does our process cooling like this, and then we save the template. So we're going to go ahead and load our process cooling template. So the people who are spooling, they don't have to set this up. They just need to load it, load the company standard, right? So this is process cooling. And we do, so we can actually edit the sheet parameters here. Approved by, checked by, designed by, drawn by. These are just parameters that come out of box for sheets, but you can add more parameters to sheets. And if you did, they'd be here. And you can set your own custom parameters for sheets here, and it'll set all those. So say you're driving some fancy stuff on your title block based on these parameters, set them all up in here, and your title block will be all nice the way that you want it to work. Prefix and suffix are not necessary. So now we're going to make the views. And I want 2 views, side by side, ISO and plan. So first thing we need to do is make a view. We're going to name it ISO, and then it's going to give me a type. And now these are all proper Revit views, sections, plan, and 3D. Now I do recommend that you use 3D views for spools and even fancy details like a gang bathroom or something like that. 3D view would be nice to work with. Now you can absolutely just use sections and details and stuff like that. But also, if you did want a top view, you can use the top 3D view. So you're getting a plan view, but it's still got all the flexibility of a 3D view, right? If I wanted to plan ISO. But here I'm just going to use a 3D view for the ISO. And this is the sheet template. Now this is very important. This is just the standard sheet template. This controls basically everything. What is the scale? What is the color? What is visible? And if you're familiar with sheet templates, it's all here. Now I do have one out of the box made specifically for these spools, and you will have as well. So I'm going to pick that. And then viewport, this is just a viewport family. What does the call out look like? Do I even want to see a call out? This is the one that comes out of the box, and there's only one in the project, so I only have one option here, but you will have more if you have more viewports. And then the next thing is, where do we want this on the sheet? So I want it to line up with the left side. The left side of this view, I want to line up with the left side of my title block. And then I want to offset 2 inches. If you're using metric, this would be millimeters. Y offset 0. And so that's my ISO view. And then I'm going to have another plan view, except I want it to be top view, but I'm going to use a 3D view. Same template, same viewport, except this time it's going to line up with the right. We're going to offset -2. So that's real easy. And once you get the hang of it, and a lot of people, they like to just make a bunch of views and then just line them all up with the bottom right corner, and then they pick the view, right? And then I want to use this view for this spool or this view for that spool. You can absolutely do that. You can do 100 views and pile them all on top of each other and delete them when you decide which exactly view that you want. So there's that. And then so views also have parameters. Now I don't have any parameters attached to views right now, but if I did, I could edit them individually here. Edit the parameters for that view, edit the parameters for that view. And the schedules are the same thing. I can have as many schedules. Say my valves were families, I could have a valve family schedule in here along with my fabrication pipe schedule. Same thing here, I can edit parameters for the individual schedules. I don't have parameters attached to schedules in this project, but if I did, they would be here. Delete that. And then the same thing, what's the title, which template? I want to use the VM pipe schedule template. And where is it? Top of the sheet, the 1/2 inch offset. And now that that's done, if you remember, I pre-selected, so we can just create the sheets. And it has created the sheets for us. If we go to Project Browser, Assemblies, we can see we have the supplier assemblies that we made, but no sheets. But then we did create sheets for this. There's that. There's the 3D view. There's the plan view. There's the schedule. And here's the sheet. And that's set up exactly how we wanted it to be. Might want to move this down. So now what I can do is go ahead and detail this real quick. I'm going to select this view, come into here. Yeah, now this is process pipe. Say I don't want to number welds, come up here, just give me the pipe work. Now there is no welds in here. So now I can just number. So VM number tag, which is BNT. And right now I have number tag set to center C2. Now say I didn't like that. One of the things that we can do is, so that was the service driven tags. But say I wanted to override. So what I can do is select all this again, give me just the pipe work. Now the override key, it'll tell you here under tags. There's another tag. So it says hold break to override spec location, right? So what I'm going to do is hold break, pause break, and then type VNT, VNT. And now it's going to ask me, okay, well, where do you want them? This time, put them on the center above with the 2 inch offset. Great. Okay. No, don't like that. Undo. Select. Let's go. Pipe work. I'm going to hold pause break. V and T. Give me below. Below center. That's fine. Okay. We're done with that. Let's click out of here. Double click into here. I'm going to unlock this view. Now, one of the things that we do, it's almost impossible to do out of the box, is to dimension multiplanar spools. But VM enables you to do that real easily. So what we can do, we can come up here and say tags, and we're going to say dimension MEP. Create a work plane and dimension through the selected MEP element. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to select this pipe. We're going to go from here to here. Enter. V and V here to here to here. Boom. V and V here. And this is a true 3. And so that's basically done. Depending on how much you want to detail this, you can go crazy. Go ahead and do it for the duct. We're going to go beats. Right, and I want the same thing actually. So this is going to be by air spools. But this time I don't want a pipe schedule. I want a duct schedule, right? Just call this duct schedule. Right. This is, that's pre-selected. So we go and create the sheets. Bam, it's created 2 sheets. Yeah, let's say 1. Let's say 2. There, right? And then same thing. We could just detail this real quick. V and T. There we go. For this specific one, I don't need any special dimension tool. I can just use the regular one. Okay. Because it's all on the same plane, right? I go from there. I go to the center of the tap or the edge of the tap. That tells them where to put the tap. And then this could just be a reference view. You don't really need to put much more than that. That's done. That's built. That's ready to build. Like I said, it just depends on how fancy you want to get with it. And like I said, you can also do big, complex, bathroom details as well. So there'll be a lot more time involved in detailing that out. But you have a lot of cool tools to filter and tag with here. Yeah. Any questions?
Stephen, could you go through the numbering process? Part numbering?
Yeah.